everyone, and welcome back to the University of Lincoln Student Life YouTube channel. And today, in celebration of Pride Month, I'm going to be taking you through 5 TV shows and 5 films that I would recommend to celebrate Pride and to broaden your horizons about LGBTQ+ matters. So the first are going to be 5 TV shows. The first one is Pose. Pose is a TV series set in the 1980s and has a number of transgender cast members and transgender characters, and it explores being gay, transgender and other LGBTQ+ matters in the 1980s. It looks at the AIDS crisis as well as people struggling with their sexuality in a much more repressed society. It was created by Ryan Murphy, who is the creator of American Horror Story, and it has transgender cast members such as MJ Rodriguez. Number 2 is Heartstopper. Heartstopper is a new TV show that's come out this year on Netflix, and it's based on the book series by Alice Osman. It is a series on Netflix which centres 2 young male characters as they form an unlikely friendship, but it blossoms into something more. It's how they discover their sexuality in high school and how they deal with the different relationships and different opinions that come out of this. Number 3 is RuPaul's Drag Race. RuPaul's Drag Race is a massive TV series. It's had well over 15 seasons now in the USA, as well as 3 seasons here in the UK, and they are branching out to other countries as well. They also have their all-star seasons where famous drag queens compete to find out who is the ultimate drag queen, and this year they introduced UK versus the world, where UK drag queens compete against other drag queens from around the world. It's a really fun, light-hearted TV show. It's really funny, but it does also tackle some difficult topics. It's really inspiring and a great watch. Number 4, Sex Education. Sex Education is a Netflix series that, as the name would suggest, centres around sex education in a school setting. Even though not all the characters are part of the LGBTQ+ community, there are a lot of characters that are. Eric is one of the main characters and he is gay, and his storyline centres around him exploring his sexuality and his relationship with Adam. There are discussions of topics such as asexuality, bisexuality, and lots of other LGBTQ+ community themes. And the 5th and final TV series that I'm going to recommend is Euphoria. Now, Euphoria is a HBO series, and it's definitely not a light-hearted one. It tackles some really dark and deep issues, but it is a really aesthetically beautiful TV series to watch. It's one of my personal favourites, and they talk about issues of sexuality throughout the series, but it's definitely not one to embark on lightly. And now I'm going to go through 5 films. So the first one is Call Me By Your Name. Call Me By Your Name is based on the book of the same name by Andre Aikman. It centres Elio and Oliver, who are spending a summer together in Italy, and they are discovering their newfound sexuality and their relationship with one another. It's aesthetically a beautiful film, and again, it's one of my personal favourites. Number 2 is Carol. Carol is a 2015 film starring Cate Blanchett and Rooney Mara, and it's set in the 1950s. Cate Blanchett plays the title character as she discovers this relationship with Rooney Mara's character. It's again an aesthetically beautiful film and a really heartwarming yet heartbreaking story. Number 3, Brokeback Mountain. Brokeback Mountain is one of the most famous LGBTQ+ films. It stars Jake Gyllenhaal and Heath Ledger as the 2 main characters. They are 2 cowboys who discover that they have a love for each other that is much deeper than a friendship, and considering the time that the film is set, they struggle a lot with expressing their sexuality as they both have partners that are women. It's a really beautiful film. It will most likely break your heart, but it really makes you understand why these values and things are worth fighting for. Number 4. A slightly more light-hearted one is The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. This is one of my personal favourite films. It's a really fun film that has Guy Pearce as one of the 3 main characters, which people might know him from Memento. He plays one of 3 drag queens, and the 3 drag queens travel in this little tour bus called Priscilla, and they go around Australia performing in drag shows, and it's a film about their friendship and how they navigate the Australian outback in this little bus whilst being drag queens. It's really funny, but also has some really important messages throughout. The 5th and final one is Moonlight. Moonlight was a 2016 film directed by Barry Jenkins, and it follows a young boy all the way up to adulthood as he navigates his world with his sexuality. Whilst this isn't the only theme in the film, there are other themes of drug violence and what it's like to be an African American youth. This is a theme that is talked about a lot throughout the film, and it is really important to look at how people are treated because of their sexuality in other parts of the world. And so I think this is a really important one to watch. So they were my 5 TV series and 5 films that I'm recommending for Pride Month, and I hope you will have an incredible Pride Month, and I hope that you enjoyed this video.